Alright, so today our objective is students are going to learn why communication is important and how to read nonverbal cues. So, I know it's Monday morning, everybody's probably not going to be too happy about this, but we are going to get up and go in the hall and do an icebreaker.
Yeah, we are.
So before anybody moves, we're going to break into two groups. You're going to be split in two. Everyone's going to draw a number from the table up here. Then we're going to move into the hall. And then what we're going to do is, out of your two groups, you're going to have a number, and you guys are going to have to get in you're going to have to organize yourselves in order. But you're not going to be able to talk, spell out your number, or like hand sign your number.
We're not going to be able to hand sign the number?
So you guys are going to have to figure out a way to get in order without communicating your number, basically. You're going to have to find a way to communicate your number. Can I clarify that anyway?
So we're in two groups.
Two groups. And then you guys are kind of racing each other to see who can get first.
Oh,
Okay.
I love a good race.
Alright, so you guys just want to number yourself off. Starting back here with 1, 2.
2, 1, 2, 1. 2, 1.
2, 1.
2, 1.
Alright. So if I can get ones to come up here first.
Apparently it's just crazy.
You just want me to If you would put your number back on the table.
Thanks. Do they already even start?
I feel like they're cheating. They're cheating.
Think they might be. Gonna take that? Oh, what's supposed to handle that?
Are you making sure we don't cheat?
Yep, I'm watching you for non-cheating out here.
Elena, no talk.
Oh, I shouldn't throw that either, should I? Alright, got this. I can't tell you, because those are the rules.
Don't cheat, Mitch.
If you want to get in just Alright.
Oh.
And then, can someone explain the group, or the icebreaker to her real quick?
Yeah, we're getting in order by number, but we can't talk or use hand gestures. And this is your group.
Oh, what kind of number?
Or
Here, I'll
being.
tell you what your number is.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions before we start? Alright, you're racing the team over here.
Okay.
Alright, ready? Start.
Done!
Alright, do you want to start saying your number?
1, 2, 3,
5.
7. 1, 2.
3.
4, 5.
Yes!
I think ours was better. if we
Kill
had
them.
some-
They got it first. But
I'm not happy. Does not please me. I'm gonna give you a bad valuation.
Alright, so can someone kind of tell me, you guys did it a little easier than I thought would happen. So can someone tell me how it could have been difficult?
I think if we had the rest of the class here,
Yeah.
it would have been a bigger group and it would have been harder to, I guess, because she kind of stepped up as, or you kind of, stepped up as the leader and just kind of jumped and was like, kind of said, hey, I'm one, get in line next to me. Then we each had to like, kind of be able to figure out like, what we were doing. So if we got in line, then I think it was a bigger group of people.
I just put that together. What she was doing.
Alright, what could have been a barrier?
Not being able to talk, communicate.
Right. Or signal or any of that. And then having a group member that just kind of walks in, like not bashing you or anything. That could also be kind of a barrier, but she just kind Can I get a volunteer to kind of read this quote right here? All right.
It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you're a fool than to open it and remove all doubt.
All right, so that's kind of just leading into the workshop as a whole. Communication can make or break any circumstance or situation. So, kind of like this quote by Mark Twain, it's better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you're a fool than to open it and remove all doubt. So basically what he's saying is it's better to keep your mouth closed and let people think that you don't know what you're talking about rather than opening it and making yourself look like a fool. So that kind of illustrates that communication is a very important part of everyday relationship, both personal and professional. And so from there, we're going to move over here. Why? Can someone give me some ideas or circumstances why communication would be important in everyday life?
People understand you or understand your idea.
Would you care to elaborate?
Like, if you have an idea for like, group projects or any like thing you're doing, if you don't like communicate your full idea, people may not understand what you're talking about. They may not like your idea until you explain it to them, and then maybe that changes their mind.
All right. How could you kind of use that in like a professional point?
I guess some of the biggest things I like see, mainly like in movies, but we see like big corporations, like people having to go in and give presentations, and maybe the other like company or whoever they're like trying to give a spiel to doesn't like know what their product is or know what they're talking about, but once they explain it, it's a lot more clear to them, and it might be something that's more like that you're more willing to do or to go to.
All right, cool. Can I get another one?
It's necessary for efficiency.
Would you care to elaborate on yours?
In the sense that we're all going to find ourselves on teams in one case or another, and those teams are all going to have to accomplish a task. And so there's just no way you're going to be able to accomplish your goal as a team unless you have clear communication channels so you can be as efficient as possible.
Yeah. All right, and can I get one last one? Sarah, how can you, or why is it important for you guys to use communication effectively on the state officer team?
Well, it's really just to kind of, I guess it's kind of a combination of understanding and efficiency. It's really just to get the job done. If we're not communicating with each other, then we may not understand all of what's going on. So it's
So
important
kind
for
of
us
like
to
everybody to be
communicate.
on the same page?
Yes, be on the same page and be able to delegate tasks and all that stuff.
All right, so now that we covered why it's important to communicate effectively, can we kind of talk about who it's important to communicate effectively with? Everyone? All right, what about, does anyone in here work sales? Work in a retail job? You do?
I have before I did.
All right, could you tell me some, it's kind of like a situation or circumstance where your communication has kind of like gone wrong in that situation?
I worked at Pony Hill Fair for like Black Friday and Christmas and stuff, and I really didn't like know their product because I hadn't been there. But people would like come ask me for things, and I didn't know like where it was to tell them, and I'd have to like keep referring to somebody else. So it was just kind of a big, it wasn't really a hassle, but it was like hard to communicate clearly when I didn't really know what I was talking about.
Right, that's really good. Kind of an example, I work at PetSmart for you guys who don't know, and I think one of the biggest communication errors that we have is that a lot of times, I don't know if you guys have been at PetSmart, but there are prices everywhere. And a lot of times the tags aren't pulled when they're supposed to pull, so they get up to the register and like, oh, this is only supposed to be $5.99 and it's ringing up for $12 in the register. Then they are mad and flustered with us because we failed to do our job right. And so then they have to go in and fix that price, and then PetSmart loses money, and they're not really happy about that. So, all right, and then we're going to go to, from there we're going to go to nonverbal cues. Places with distractions, such as the workplaces, like your Black Friday example, can be at high risk of having communication barriers, and that's why nonverbal cues are very important in that. So you're going to have to bear with my drawings. Can everybody kind of see the drawings? All right, bear with my drawings and kind of guess what this would be. Good, yeah.
Like the Queen's.
So body language is important. Have you guys, when people talk like this, how do they kind of come off?
Yeah.
Frigid and not very friendly.
Barbie dollish.
All right, cool. All right, and then what if you see someone talking like this?
They're close to you.
Not interested.
Not attached to the conversation at all. And then what if someone was teaching you about it? If we had a teacher teaching you, and then they were just kind of like this the whole time, kind of like looking around, not really.
Stressed out.
Super nervous.
Yeah.
Anxiety.
Or it kind of gives off the idea that they don't really know what they're talking about, doesn't it? Alright. And then when you're in a conversation with somebody and you're attached and you're making eye contact and then nodding, it kind of, what does that kind of symbolize?
Your interest, what they're saying.
Interested, you're connected with them. And then eye contact is a huge thing. Has anyone ever tried to have a serious conversation with someone with their sunglasses on?
Yeah.
It's hard to do, isn't it?
Watch yourself.
It's true.
Alright, and then, can anyone kind of, guess on that one? It might be a little difficult.
Time management?
Right here?
Oh.
We can go with this one, you got it?
Very extreme.
Alright, how can time be a nonverbal cue?
I think, I've had enough conversations in my own life to know that you have to be mindful in terms of people, like, and having like the right kind of time of conversation. Like, in terms of professionally networking a room, you don't want to spend 20 minutes at a business function talking to one person, and if your goal is to get your name out there and meet people, you know?
Right, yeah, that's kind of the direction we were going with it. If you have an interview for 3 o'clock and you show up at 3:15, what does that kind of show the employer?
You don't really care.
Yeah, it kind of shows that your time is more important than theirs, and then you're more than likely not going to have a good interview. Alright, so can we kind of go over that one? This is a person. This is a person.
Maybe like their voice, like if they're shouting.
Yeah, it's vocal. Alright, and vocal as a nonverbal cue, it's kind of like how pitch and tone are very important to a conversation. Everybody's had the monotone teacher that just talks like this the whole time. They're not attached to anything. And how can that affect what you're learning or what you're doing in the class?
I don't want to go to sleep.
Yeah, it just makes you unattached to the conversation. And then when you're talking to somebody, a lot of times I have a problem with misunderstanding people a lot. Because when they're irritated at a situation, it seems like they're irritated at you when they're telling the situation. Does anyone have that?
Yeah.
So then you're kind of irritated at them, like, why are you yelling at me? It's not my fault, you can't find a parking spot. Does everyone kind of know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Cool. You guys have any questions or concerns, comments? All right, well, that was my workshop.
Good job.